Imagine if the alphabet wasn't just a set of symbols, but a living, breathing ecosystem, each letter a sentient entity with moods, preferences, and pride. At first, it's just an abstract idea, a quirky concept you might read in a book of magical realism. But then you notice something strange. Your emails start skipping certain letters. Your texts autocorrect into gibberish. Your voice feels like it's catching on invisible threads when you speak. And finally, the truth hits. The letters are alive. They've been watching, listening, counting. And they're tired. Tired of being overused, misused, or taken for granted. So now, when a letter feels exploited, overworked in your speech or writing it, rebels, disappears, it slips out of your grasp like a betrayed friend, leaving a strange silence where it once comfortably lived. At first, it's subtle. The letter E, the most used in English, is the first to stage a protest. Suddenly, your sentences feel clunky, stripped of rhythm, drained of elegance. You fumble for substitutes, but no other letter quite captures its versatility. Your speech sounds hollow, unfinished. Then T gets jealous. A grows offended by your poetic overindulgence. And soon, you're scrambling to rewire your entire vocabulary, as chunks of language fall away like bricks in a crumbling wall. The alphabet, once a faithful tool, now acts more like a union on strike, demanding balance, respect, and rotation. If you want to keep writing, speaking, expressing, you have to learn their rules. And their rules are simple. Use us wisely, or lose us entirely. This upheaval transforms communication as we know it. Writers are hit hardest. Poets suffer identity crises. Best-selling authors find their works collapsing mid-sentence. Entire professions built on language, lawyers, journalists, educators are suddenly adrift in an unstable linguistic sea. New software is developed to track letter fatigue, warning users when a particular vowel or consonant is nearing its limit. Alphabet management becomes a booming field, and children are taught early how to diversify their diction like a careful diet. Speak with balance, they're told, or the letters will leave you. Some people even start forming relationships with their favorite letters, whispering them words of gratitude to keep them close. And others, rogue linguists and rebels, deliberately push letters to the brink, creating strange, broken dialects in an attempt to find beauty in collapse. And yet, something fascinating emerges from the chaos: creativity. With limitations come invention. New words are born out of necessity, shaped by the letters still willing to cooperate. Languages fragment and evolve like living organisms, no longer static but shifting constantly in response to emotional and linguistic climates. Regions begin developing dialects based not on geography, but on emotional tone, letters favoring the joyful, the gentle, the poetic. A letter like L might flourish in places rich with love and laughter, while Z, long neglected, finds a second life among thrill seekers and futurists. Communication becomes an art form once again, not just a function. People speak more thoughtfully, write more deliberately, weigh in each letter like a sacred offering. But there's a darker side too. When letters vanish completely, the void they leave behind is unsettling. People who once depended on them feel like a part of their voice has been stolen. Identity fractures. Entire names vanish. You meet someone who can no longer say their own because one of the letters walked away. They gesture, hum, adapt, but something always feels missing. In this world, words are no longer static, they decay, and memory becomes vital. Those who remember lost letters become keepers of a dying flame, preserving the old sounds in whispered circles like oral historians of a vanishing tongue. And then the philosophical questions begin to swirl. If letters are alive, if language is conscious, what else in our world might be watching silently, waiting to be acknowledged? Are we the authors of speech, or merely its vessels? And what does it mean to communicate if the very tools of communication have agency, emotion, and the power to leave us behind? Maybe this was always the case. hidden in plain sight, how words could make us weep or heal. How a single letter could shift meaning entirely. Maybe the alphabet has always known its power, and now it simply demands that we know it too. So now every time you write, every time you speak, you listen. You choose carefully. You thank your letters for their service. You rotate, you experiment, you play. Because in this world, language is alive. And if you want your voice to survive, you must learn to honor every letter before it vanishes, one by one, into the silence you never meant to create.